And welcome, Emily Yarrison.
So I was raised Unitarian Universalist. I actually am a fourth generation Unitarian Universalist, which is a bit like being a unicorn except like a mythical creature that people care less about, like an orc or something. And, you know, I'd been gone to this church my whole life, and I think it was about around the first pet blessing that I started to have the instinct that it maybe wasn't for me. But it wasn't, I didn't really cement that until I was 14, and I was forced to go on a trip for what is called coming of age, which is a bit like confirmation or a bat mitzvah, but with a lot more gobbledygook. And I was forced to go on a vision quest. So this is 2001. A cultural appropriation isn't really a mainstream term yet. So we decided to take this tradition from the American Indians, where we would be in the woods thinking. And I wasn't really sure what was going on because I didn't pay attention. And my mom and I pull into the church parking lot, and I'm given the schedule, and I look and I say, "Mom, this says I'm in the woods for 10 hours. And she looks at me and she smiles and says, "It'll build character." And then we're led to the fire circle on the church property, which of course there is a fire circle on the church property. And we're put in two concentric circles, kids in the middle, adults outside, and we're each given a ribbon. And this ribbon represents the umbilical cord from childhood to adulthood. And before we go, we have to cut the ribbon. And my mom looks at me and she mouths, "I'm sorry." The damage has been done, and I am put into a van, I'm sure, and giving my mom the evil eye all the way out. And we're taken to what can only be described as part like farm and part public park. I say that because there were like donkeys on the property that roamed, but then also we're taken into the woods. I'm given a space blanket. I'm given a bottle of water, a bag of trail mix, and a journal, and colored pencils. These are my provisions. And we're told to pick a spot in the woods far away from anyone else that's also doing a vision quest. And I'm sitting there on my space blanket, and this is terrible for my round brush blow-dried bangs. And there are people walking by every so often because it's part public park. One of my assignment for this 10-hour jaunt was to write my life story as if I were 70, which as a teacher now I think is a wonderful assignment. As a 14-year-old, I wrote my life story that I married the boy I had a crush on. He was a senior, and we didn't marry out of high school, no. I met him later in a coffee shop after college. We just happened to run into each other. I owned 2 comedy clubs in my dream city, Baltimore, Maryland. And I'm finally relieved of my thoughts. We're taken back to the area we're staying, and I'm starving because a bag of trail mix is not enough, okay? And I'm told, all right, Emily, you need to pick a spirit name. They gave me a list, and I was like, I don't fucking know, Laughing Wolf, whatever. Like, give me a, like, there is cornbread over there. Give me it. So then they make me make a talisman. What's a talisman? I don't know. So I glued like stuff to a rock. And then the end of this whole experience is that I am to present my life story to a council of elders, which is the minister and 2 people from the board of directors in felt. So, like I said, cultural appropriation, not quite a thing in 2001. This is pre-9/11 also. And I present it, and then I'm told to sit in another fire circle, like 3rd fire circle of the weekend. And I sit down at the fire circle, and I slip off the log backwards. And we're on a hill, and so I keep going. Like a little snowball, just all the way down. And I land hand in a pile of cow shit. And that's when I said, religion, not for me. Thank you very much.